This is New Media TV in London.
Sensational Nigeria, painful resentment. Okay, hi guys. Today is Tuesday, the 31st day of December 2024, and this is one of the short video clips that we hope to be releasing into the public domain in some of our social media feeds as from January 2025. Now, the topic that we really want to talk about today is one of the first in the series in the Sensational Nigeria, painful resentment. Now, court orders temporary forfeiture of 49,000 US dollars recovered from ex-resident electoral commissioner for INEC, and the Aminu Tambuwal and Wamakko's connections in relations to the allegation. Now, here is the full details of the gist. A federal high court in Abuja on Monday ordered the temporary forfeiture of the sum of 49,700 US dollars allegedly recovered from Dr. Nura Ali, former resident electoral commissioner (REC) for the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for Sokoto State in the 2023 general elections. I repeat, former resident electoral commission (REC) for Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for Sokoto State in the last 2023 general elections. Justice Emeka Nwite gave the order after Osuobeni Akponimi Sega counsel to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) in Abuja moved an ex parte motion to the effect. Now, as we gathered here in London, while the Federal Republic of Nigeria was the applicant, Dr. Ali was the sole respondent in the motion marked FHJ/ABJ/CS/1846/2024. The motion, dated 20 December 2024 and filed 24 December 2024, was jointly filed by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) and the Department of State Service, the DSS. Mr. Usman Dauda, the Director of Legal, signed the application on DSS behalf. Akbonimi Singer, Assistant Chief Legal Officer in the ICPC office, was part of the legal team that drafted the process. The motion sought an order of the court temporarily forfeiting the sum of $49,700 recovered from Dr. Nura Ali during a search operation by the federal government of Nigeria, being property suspected to be proceed of an unlawful activity. It also sought an order directing the applicant, that is the Federal Republic of Nigeria (FRN) through the ICPC and the DSS to jointly conduct a thorough preliminary investigation into the alleged unlawful activities of Dr. Ali in respect of the movable properties sought to be forfeited, and make a report to the court within 90 days. Now, it sought an order directing the applicant, that is the Federal Republic of Nigeria (FRN) through the ICPC and the DSS to deposit the $49,700 in an escrow account. Escrow account means a third-party held account that holds assets or funds until certain conditions are met with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). The application equally sought an order directing the applicant to publish a notice in any national newspaper calling for persons, whether human, juristic or artificial, having interest in the money, to show cause why it should not be permanently forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria (FGN). So in other words, if you believe you are the owner of the property that they are about to be forfeited, whether you are human, whether you are artificial, whether you are juristic, you have to show your interest, and that the ICPC and the DSS must make those announcements in many of the publications in the country so that the rightful owner can actually come forward. Now, given 9 grounds why the application should be granted, that is why the DSS and the ICPC wants the court to grant the 9 grounds for application, the applicant, that is the ICPC and the DSS, said the victim, in this case Dr. Ali, of the alleged crime was the federal government of Nigeria and innocent taxpayers, which include judges of the courts across the country. So that means Dr. Ali committed a crime against taxpayers in the country. And look at what the DSS and the ICPC they've done in this case. They've roped in the judges, that because the judges equally pay taxes and other Nigerians who pay taxes. So because the $49,700 was a proceed of crime, so in other words, Dr. Ali has been robbing a lot of taxpayers in the country, including judges. It said the money was recovered during a search operation by operatives of the DSS at the residence of Dr. Ali, the former resident electoral commissioner reg of INEC for Sokoto state in northern Nigeria. Now, the alleged movable property, that is the $49,700 was a movable property, was a bribe money received by Dr. Nura Ali when he was the Independent National Electoral Commission's resident electoral commissioner for Sokoto state. The alleged movable property, that is the $49,700 is not the legitimate earning or income of Dr. Ali as the Independent National Electoral Commission's resident electoral commission. Why? Now, the alleged movable property, according to the ICPC and the DSS, is suspected to be proceeds of crime. However, the applicant, that is the ICPC and the DSS, argued that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, listen to this, does not pay its staff members in United States dollars as salaries or allowance. So that case is clear. Now, it said the essence of the application was not to compulsorily acquire the alleged movable property, that is the $49,700 from the alleged owner, Dr. Ali, but to preserve the property from dissipation, or in other words, overindulgence in sensual pleasures. Overindulgence in sensual pleasures. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, said if the court grants the reliefs sought, interested persons, that is those that are interested in the amount they're about to be lodged, including the alleged owners, will be given the opportunity to offer an explanation as to the legitimacy of the alleged property. Now, in this case, where cogent and verifiable explanation exists as to how the property was acquired, devoid or free of crime, that is, if the said property is free of crime, the alleged owner, who must have come forward, or any other person having a proprietary interest in the property, will be allowed unrestricted possession of the property. That means the said property, the $49,700 will be given to them, and they will have no restricted access to the possession. Now, this application is not in conflict with the provisions of sections 43 and 44 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which guarantee the rights of citizens of Nigeria to acquire and own immovable and movable properties in any part of the country. So they argued. Now, when the matter was called up, Akponimi Singer, who appeared for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, FRN, told the court that the motion ex parte prayed to the court for the four orders. Now, the lawyer said 4 exhibits were attached to the motion, including Exhibit DSS 1 to Exhibit DSS 4. He argued the court to grant the application in the interest of justice. He said a search was conducted in Ali's residence in Kano, northern Nigeria, and the sum of US dollars 49,700 US dollars was retrieved from the building. He told the court that Ali allegedly said that the sum of 150,000 US dollars was given to him by the former governor of Sokoto State, Aminu, Tambuwal, and Senator Aliyu, Wamakko. The ICPC lawyer, who alleged that Ali made this disclosure in his extrajudicial statements to the DSS, said the former rec also wrote a letter to the security outfit in a bid to reclaim the money. Now, can you imagine this? So now, for that 2023 general election, Dr. Ali received a bribe of 150,000 US dollars given to him by the former governor of Sokoto State and former Speaker of the Federal House of Reps, Aminu Tambuwal, and Senator Aliyu Wamakko. Let's carry on. Now, Akpomini Sanga, the ICPC lawyer, insisted that INEC does not pay his workers or recs in dollars. Now, also in the affidavit in support of the motion ex parte disposed by Elia Marcos, a litigation officer with ICPC, he said that Akpomini Sanga informed him that he read through the case file and comprehended facts forming the allegations leading to the execution of an e-search warrant by operatives of the DSS at Ali's residence. Marcos said the DSS received an intelligence report on Dr. Ali on allegations of bribery he received from stakeholders, that is, politicians, in the course of his official duties as INEC rec in charge of Sokoto State in the northwest geopolitical zone of the country. He said further that the intelligence report was processed and the residence of Dr. Ali in Kano was searched pursuant to a search warrant executed jointly by the operatives of the ICPC and the DSS. The officer said in the course of the execution of the search warrant, the sum of 47,000 US dollars was recovered from the house. In conjunction with the statement, Dr. Ali also made his own statement with respect to the search of his residence and the subsequent recovery of the alleged 49,700 US dollars. Officials of the Nigerian Authority said invitation letters had been written to invite persons he claimed gave him the alleged 49,700 US dollars. So we are looking at Aminu Tambuwal and Wamakko together at the same time. Remember, the rec commissioner said he was given 150,000 US dollars by Aminu Tambuwal, the former Sokoto State governor, and Wamakko, Senator Wamakko. Now, whether out of the 150,000 US dollars that Dr. Nura was given, maybe 49,000 US dollars, 49,700 US dollars is the remaining part of the proceeds of that crime. Now, Evidence points to the fact that Dr. Nura Ali did not report the gift of the alleged 49,700 US dollars to any law enforcement agency as required by extant laws of the land. But however, Dr. Ali had in the past written letters to the State Security Service, the DSS, requesting for release of the alleged 49,700 US dollars bribe money to him. Justice White, who said that the application was meritorious, granted the ICPC and the DSS prayers. The judge adjourned the matter until 30 January 2025 for a report of compliance on the publication in the media, and adjourned the case until 31st March 2025 for a hearing of the matter. So in other words, anybody who feel that they are the rightful owner of the 49,700 US dollars, adverts should be made in publications across the whole country so that the person can come forward and then prove their legitimacy to the said funds. But who is going to come up? In conclusion, could this be some of the strategy already in place to dislodge heavyweight northern politicians by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu towards 2027 agenda to ensure a safe return to power for a second term of another 4 years? Now, guys, remember the North said they made grave error in 2023 for supporting a Tinubu presidency, and come 2027 the North will field another candidate that will depose him, and the Yorubas will never taste the presidency again. But you see, at this point in time, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was diverting the proceeds and the taxpayers' money from Lagos to the North kept on receiving Lagos and the Southwest money in 2022 prior to the 2023 presidential election. They willingly took Bola Ahmed Tinubu's money. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, make no mistakes, knew the game. He was a master of the game. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like I have said time after time, studied Chief Obafemi Awolowo's politics, knew the strength and the weaknesses of Chief Obafemi Awolowo's politics, studied ruthlessly the politics of MKO Abiola. Equally, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to carry out a SWOT analysis on both of these Yoruba leaders: strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. And then Bola Tinubu combined both Awolowo and MKO's politics together, imbibed the two together, and then used that in fighting the North. And that was why he was able to play the game properly with the North, just to secure the power. So whether this is part of that game that Bola Tinubu is now putting in place to dislodge some of the famous and heavyweight politicians in the North against 2027, well, we'll begin to see everything come in 2025, because preparations for 2027 will probably kickstart by the second quarter of 2027. We're looking at maybe May, June, July, August. So rather than play all these hanky-panky games for me and for some of the team at No Media TV, rather than play all these hanky-panky games with the North, don't you think it is about time Bola Tinubu began the process of returning or restructuring Nigeria back to the 1960 1963 regional formation of the old Western region, Midwest, Eastern region, and Northern region, with each regions controlling their God's-given resources and bringing their taxes to the center of government.
Don't ever believe that a politician is a leader. Don't ever believe that. Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. But leaders are different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. I want you to compare those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. Hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. Sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen, stateswomen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman think of the next generation.
I mean, we're just thinking. We're just thinking. And if you think it is right, leave us your comment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is New Media TV in London. Tell us what you think in the comment box, and please don't forget, if this video and its entire content and any of our live streams inspire you, like, subscribe and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you are alerted when we post a new video or live stream. That's all for now. See you in our next video. Thanks.